Yeah. All right. It looks like we're live, guys. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys had an amazing and productive week. Today is Sunday, May the 19th. At the time, I'm going live here from Pennsylvania. Hey, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody that keeps coming back to watch my videos, everybody that's keeping up with the content, and I really appreciate you guys. And plus, do me a favor, as soon as you join the chat, make sure to hit the like button and drop it in the comment section where you're tuning in from, and I will really appreciate it. So today's topic is doing business in Africa and leave politics alone. So we're going to get to the meat of this topic just in a little bit, but let me allow a little more time for people to join the chat before we can get this ball rolling. So just in the meantime, feel free to let me know in the comment section where you're tuning in from, and also make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, all right? So this really costs you $0, and it helps me out, stand out in a YouTube platform, in a YouTube space, so YouTube can send this video to a lot more people out there that will find this live stream or this topic more productive and useful. All right, guys, so don't be greedy. Just support the channel. Oh man, today we got a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about, and there is a reason I specifically say to leave politics alone. All right, guys, so I'm not going to waste any more of your time. For those of you that are already in the chat, so please do me a favor, hit the like button, and in the comment section, let me know where you joining in from, and I will really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's go straight to today's live stream. You guys know, for those of you from Congo, you know what occurred this morning in Kinshasa. There was an attempt to overthrow the Congolese government. The funny part about this, the person involved, the number one guy who was the leader of this quote-unquote rebel groups, that revolutionary rebel groups we should call them, is Congolese, who lived in the diaspora, more precisely in the United States of America, brought his son, a couple of his friends, and they try and overthrow the Congolese government. They successfully attack the vice prime minister's house and killed two of his bodyguards. And then they made their way to the Congolese presidential palace, where they gained entry of the premises and temporarily occupied the presidential palace for like a couple of minutes before a National Guard actually stepped in and stopped the threats. All right, so guy lost his life. His son is apprehended and arrested, alongside an American who the trying to present agent. So as more information and reports come out, we are going to find out the true identity of this white who was among this group, right? I had to start with that to give you guys an idea. I do understand a lot of African countries have issues. I do understand there are a lot of things we need to work on. I do understand corruption is very rampant in a lot of African nations. I get that. But those type of attempts should not be the response as a mean to change the way things are done. Understand, in everything we do in our daily life requires some level of patience and also plan before you go ahead and get something done. It seems to me that this guy who's lived in America, but he was heavily involved in politics. So he sees the way things are going. He doesn't like it. And quite honestly, most of us don't. But is it worth risking your life over? And that is another answer that some of us need to, that's another question that some of us need to have answers to. In my opinion, we should come up with different ways of addressing these issues. Believe it or not, corruption is everywhere around the world. But you guys know that I'm a huge advocate of young African in the diaspora going back to Africa to invest, start a business, and potentially move back to the continent of Africa, okay? And I do understand there are a lot of things that we need to fix, and politics gets in the way of our daily life. And I do understand that some of you are going to say, well, if politics is not stable and business cannot also, I get all of that. But we're not there yet. And that's one thing we need to understand. We're not there yet. Every country has its issues, all right? America has its issues. For those of you who don't know, right, let's just talk about America for a minute. If you're a small business in the United States, you don't stand no chance at all. At all. Because these big businesses, what they do, they would reduce their prices, right, to drive smaller business out of the market. And when they completely out, these people take over, they expand, and they jack the price back up again. Guess what? You don't have no other choice but to do business with them, to purchase their merchandises, because there is no other option out there. That's just a little bit of something. I don't want to get into details about that. But when we talk about Africa, if you are doing business in Africa, but at the same time you're worried about politics or things like that, trust me, you are never going to make it. You will grow, frustration will grow within you every single time until you decide to pack your stuff and get out. So did this Congolese fella who has encouraged his own son, his own blood, to join his militia or revolutionary rebel to go and try to overthrow the Congolese government, do you guys think it was worth it? In my opinion, it was not. I always tell people, in today's world, in this day and age, even all of these politicians, they don't care about anything else more than themselves. They're in there to make money, to start businesses, to create generational wealth so that their descendants don't have to apply for a job online or fill out a job application, go get a job somewhere. They'll make sure that every single one of their descendants, the moment they're born, they're already born rich. So if you find an opportunity to join politics and probably become a potentially, create generational wealth through the same practices that a lot of these guys are, involved in, feel free to do so. But me personally, politics has never interested me in any way, shape, or form. That's why when I was in Congo and I was going to law school, I'm glad it didn't work out the way I thought it would when I moved to the United States, and my goals have changed dramatically. And now I find myself in a whole different field of, in a different career. Because politics will get you killed. Politics will destroy your life. And politics is a dirty, dirty game. A lot of these people, they join politics for one reason and one reason only: to enrich themselves in a much quicker way. That's one of the fastest way you can become rich when you get into politics. Even here in America, it's the same thing. All of these lobbying groups, what do you think they do? They buy politicians, House of Representative members, senators, and all of these other guys. Why is it that there are debates over in the Senate floor in the United States of America where they talking about from now on, whenever these lobbies are meeting with politicians, they should have body cameras on. They should be wearing body cameras so that their conversations are made public, so that there is no discrepancies, there is no doubt about nothing. You know why they have not been able to pass this law? It's because they know it's pure corruption. Lobbying is another form of corruption, but they just use the term lobbying as a euphemism, right? Because if you look at it in a more different way, like corruptions run very deep in a lot of countries, but it is just practiced in a different ways. So the way corruptions are practiced in Africa, it is more obvious that this is corruption, which is very different from the way corruption works in the Western world. Politicians are corrupt through these lobbying organizations, right? They would basically make campaign contribution in return to get certain votes. In return, the politicians will vote in certain ways. That's why voting is bullshit. Since I've been in America, I mean, I got my card as an independent because I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I have no affiliation whatsoever to any political group, political party. But every time the election comes around, I ask myself the question, why should I vote? What is it that they're going to do that will benefit me anyway? So I don't even bother. In my entire lifetime, I only voted one time back in the Congo when I had just turned 18 years old. That was during the 2000 and I believe this was during 2011. No, this was 2008 election when the current Secretary of Defense, Jean-Pierre Bemba, ran for president, and his opponent was Joseph Kabila. That was the only election I voted in, and ever since I voted during that election, I never bothered to vote ever again, whether it is back in the Congo or here in the United States. I don't vote. So that's why it's very, bruh, are you serious? That's why it is very, very crucial to understand the dynamics. That the moment that you are starting a business and at the same time you are involving it with politics and you are complaining more about the way politics are affecting businesses, yes, it does. But if you just want to focus more on that, believe me, you will never, ever, ever succeed. Because these politicians will always be corrupt. There is nothing we as individuals can do to stop this level of corruptions that run deep in most governments around the world. But if you, someone who has business mindset, especially African in the diaspora, who has a business mindset, right? You should always keep politics out of a lot of things you're doing. By going there, create a plan, start a business, hoping that you win, right? Then if you wanna, yeah, you better park somewhere, because somebody was driving right in front of me, was swerving all over the road. I don't know if they're drunk or what. Anyways, so you guys, come on, man, listen, do me a favor, hit the like button, all right? Do me a favor, hit the like button. I'm looking at the thing, it's fluctuating. Now it's 14 people in the chat. If you just can hook me out with a like, I would really, really appreciate it. This will cost you $0, zero, nothing. It will not cost you anything. I'm just asking for your support. When you like the video, It makes me stand out. It gives me a chance to YouTube to send it out to multiple people out there, and then more people will join the chat, and then we'll have a smooth conversation. And if you don't like the video, that's fine too. But I still have to say something about it. All right. So thank you very much. Back to the subject. So if I have to conclude with this Congolese that just lost his life who tried to overthrow the government, I feel bad for him, and my heart goes to his family. But he shouldn't really risk his life over some political stuff. Things aren't working, people are suffering, blah, 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 blah. Bro, even if they put you president, you're not going to, finish or end starvation or poverty or whatever. These things takes years. Takes years. All of these Western countries that most people are attracted to move into, they didn't get where they are today overnight. It took them centuries to get where they at. Corruptions was a big thing too. Now there's also corruption now, but it used to be much worse back then. All right, but president after president, people are bringing different ideologies. Things are changing step by step, and it is a more incremental evolution, which that require a certain level of patience. Oh man, I'm sweating. Whew. I didn't realize until like sweat is like rolling down my forehead. All right. So this really happened, right? But it really takes a level of patience. You may not in your lifetime see the kind of change that you're looking for, right? But maybe the next generation will see it. Maybe the generation after that. But we just have to do our part. I used to be heavily involved in politics like that. Watching news, I still watch news, don't get me wrong, so I know what's going on around the world, right? But I was never invested in it to the point where it bothered my sleep. It does not bother my sleep like whatsoever, but I still keep my mind in politics so just I can know what exactly is going on around the world, right? So I know, okay, if I want to travel to this country, I can because it's stable, because I don't want to travel to a country not knowing that there is war going on there, and the moment you get there, you get trapped. And that's important. That's why. But with all honesty, that's why I said it in one of my videos that a lot of Africans, especially when they're starting business, they don't take into account the fact that you will not just go in there, start a business, and right away start making profits. It requires a lot of time. Risks are involved too. You may lose the money the first time. You may not even make it the first time. But if you are patient, you persevere, maybe it'll work out. But it really takes a certain amount of time and patience to reach your objectives. And we should all practice that. We should keep that in our minds, that the way things are happening nowadays around the world, you just have to be more careful in the way you talk and the way you view the world, because the world view that the population see, it's not the same world that these global elites see. They don't see the world the same way we do see it. But if you have a little bit of the chance that you can, come out with the saving and to go to Africa to start a business, do it for your own sake. Don't do it thinking that you're going to change the world. Don't thinking that you're going to fix anything. You may help contribute to your community, but don't think that you're like this magical savior that's going to change everything around them. No, you're not. All right? You're not going to change anything. But all we're doing is we're trying to reach a certain level of financial freedom so that we don't always have to live here in the West. All right? Because most of us are doing this and are willing to, move back. But what are you moving back to? You have to establish a business. You have to have some sort of residual income that is enough to sustain your lifestyle, right? To pay for your gas if you have a car, to pay for your groceries, to eat every single day, to pay for your accommodation, and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I don't have nothing to say about that comment. Yeah, well, I know trolls are everywhere, and I don't mind them here. So as long as you keep it, respectful, then yeah, we'll just keep this live stream going because I got a different, energy. But yeah, yes, indeed, I'm from Congo, and I don't know where you're getting that from. Don't know of a Chinese person who sounds like me or who speaks like me. So, but I do respect your sense of hearing. You hear things in your own way and may not be the same as others. So I do respect that. I figured that I will come here and go this, I was planning on just doing this short live stream without stretching you guys and keeping you here watching for over an hour because I'm on my way. I'm going to a friend who's sick, who's hospitalized. I'm gonna visit him, then I'll come back to my place and just enjoy my only day off because I work Monday through Saturday this week, right? And I figured that I'll come here and just, throw this out there and also touch base a little bit of this coup d'etat attempt that took place this morning in Congo, right? But it's unfortunate that people die from that attack, but that's the kind of thing that shouldn't have happened. I know people are frustrated in the way things are, happening, or in the way, the governments are, are running the country. But have some sort of patience and hoping that eventually it will change. If you want to do business, stick with business mindset, and if you succeed and you start making more money, trust me, these politicians are very, very easy to corrupt, easy to put in your pockets, if that's really what you want to do. All right, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have to get out of here. It doesn't look like the AC in my car is really working properly because I'm sweating, but the AC is still on. I might have to roll my windows down. So the moment I roll the windows down, you guys are not going to be able to hear what I'm saying because it'll be, wind coming through the windows and stuff. So I don't want to bother the live stream by putting you guys under such conditions. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Have a fantastic Sunday. I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace out.